Mbona ito nani? Oh, Simon adu nini baje?
Unauza makuku.
Naam. So umewahi deal na Shylock?
Deal na Shylock, lakini kuna bisi yangu najua deal na Shylock. Kwa tunaishi pamoja. Niliona baje internet.
So ya vipi kuliendaje mwanzo?
So jamaa niambia Shylock inamkimbiza mbaya sana.
Bali wasali ufanyaje?
Interest inapanda kila siku. Kwenye unachelewa ni interest inapanda zaidi.
Worry no more because we are here for you, because we care and love you so much.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It's another wonderful show that we are bringing. This is Winga Talks and
Mengesa Legal Talks.
Thank you very much, and I'm Winga Ruoth
and Sheillah Mengesa.
It's such a pleasure to have you once more on this show. Thank you very much for those who are subscribing, for those who are sharing, for those who are viewing. God bless you. Keep doing this. Okay, so let's get to the show today. Yes, Wakili, what are we talking about? We are talking about?
So today we are talking about the very controversial topic of Shylock loans.
Wow.
Have you ever borrowed money from a Shylock? How did it end? Did it end well? Did it end in premium tears? Did someone break your leg? So you can
just
answer us in the comments.
How did, just took the money and your TV was collected.
Or if you are Shylock, did you ever lend money to someone and they failed to pay you back? Yeah, it's a two-way traffic issue.
So let's delve into this conversation. So basically, how did this Shylock things begin and what is the basic history?
So Shylock loans, Shylock business is an ancient Rome practice.
Yes.
Yeah, but it originated from, it gained fame from the Merchant of Venice novel by Shakespeare.
I'm sure.
The very famous novel by Shakespeare.
Are you sure you did Shakespeare's? No.
But of course.
No. You are a native of the people.
Oh,
you are a native of the people student.
So Shylock business in Kenya, it's an unregulated transaction. There's no law at the moment regulating Shylock business.
Has there ever been a law?
Yes. There was law regulating Shylock business, and the same was repealed in 1984. And none has been passed since then.
From then up to now,
they just operate
weedlessly They're just operating casually like that.
Casually,
so
yes.
Meaning, dealing with a Shylock,
you have to be very careful.
Be very careful.
Yeah, because these Shylocks who are a bit informed rely on contract law. And they prepare contracts which they'll give to the borrowers to sign. Yes, and most of the borrowers are usually uninformed, and they don't even take time to go through the contract. And these are usually very poorly drafted contracts with very high interest rates. You can even find a Shylock charging 15% per day. Yeah.
Yes. So because you take 10,000.
Yes.
You return it to the 1,000 every day.
Yes. So you can borrow 10K and you end up paying them 200,000. Yes. And when someone is borrowing, they're in distress. They really want the money, very desperate. Maybe your child has been sent away from school and you want a quick way out of it. So you'll just sign that contract without reading, without going through the provisions. And when it comes to repaying, you realize that you committed yourself to very prejudicial, very punitive terms.
Punitive terms
which is very unfortunate.
Yes.
Yeah.
So basically, how are they registered by law?
So if you want to register a Shylock business, you register it under the Microfinance Act, which provides for microfinance businesses. You can register a non-deposit taking microfinance.
Oh, so if you register it as a non-deposit microfinance, then it means you are only doing Shylock
business. Yeah, so you incorporate a company and under the Companies Act. And then you get the necessary licenses, and you have to be licensed by the Central Bank of Kenya. And then so this business will be registered under the Microfinance Act. Yeah, and you'll be duly registered, and it has been provided under the Microfinance Act. If you are deemed to be taking advantage of the public, let's say charging very high interest rates, yes, you can be deregistered. But it is good to get your business registered. It's always advisable to to run a legal transaction, a legal entity.
Yes, especially when
a
you're
legal
dealing
entity.
with where money is involved.
Yeah, because it's two-way. You know, you can lend money to someone and then they refuse to repay you.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's very unfortunate when, let's say, you didn't sign a contract with the borrower.
It's both sides.
Yeah, so it will be very difficult
The
to
guy will just
recover
say,
your
you know,
money.
this guy bought me lunch.
Yes, and you know, these Shylocks are human beings. They are
Say, this guy is
hustling
like, you know,
to
just
provide for their families.
just go to court and say this guy is a friend, and you know, he just supported me. I told him my child was out of school, and he told me, okay, no problem, let me see what I have, and he shared. So there was no agreement.
So or probably you took a TV or a woofer as collateral, and let's say you lent someone 20k and you can only collect 5,000
from the woman.
yeah, from the woofer. So you know, you incur losses. Yeah, so to be on the
Because
safe
obviously it's a
side,
depreciating
asset. Yeah, to be on the safe side, just make sure you register the business. Let it be a legal entity so that you can recover. Like, you know, if you register a microfinance, you'll have a system in place. Yes, this person will sign contracts. You'll indicate in your system that this is
what you're doing.
the amount you gave them. They were supposed to repay in this period of time. Yeah, you'll have audience before the court.
Before the court. Now, okay, just maybe to get a clarification as far as that's concerned, are also online money lending apps classified as Shylocks?
No, they're not Shylocks. These are most of them are registered as microfinance businesses.
But they don't do they don't do savings and stuff like that.
They are non-deposit taking microfinance businesses.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So now, how do you do the licensing and even the authorization and all these things?
So as I have explained, you register a company, you incorporate a company under the Companies Act, and then you'll obtain the license. The Central Bank of Kenya has to license you, and then you also register your business under the Microfinance Act. So that way you'll be registered as a non-deposit taking microfinance. Yes.
So please don't start running a Shylock because you have like 100k and you have a few friends and you tell them, you know, I'm Shylock. You are not registered, you are not organized. If I know that, please, I'll just come and take 50,000 and then I wait for you to start hunting.
Yeah, and ensure that you prepare contracts which the borrowers must sign before collecting the money. Because you know, you can only recover under the law of contract. Like if it's a debt, it has to be in writing and signed. Yes, but if you just give out money without people signing contracts, then it will be very difficult for you to recover your money.
Now, we've handled as far as the practitioner is concerned. Now, what about the practitioner?
The borrowers.
Now the borrowers.
Yeah, so mostly people who end up borrowing from Shylocks, I don't know why I call them auctioneers. I just relate them because they behave the same way. Like most of the people who end up borrowing from Shylocks are people who have been probably listed by the CRB. So you find yourself in a very pressing situation, and you probably you need quick money to pay your rent, you need quick money to pay school fees, and you cannot borrow from the bank. Yeah, maybe these online apps have also listed you at CRB. No. So the only option is the Shylock. You know, these Shylocks are necessary evils. They are not. We should not just generally frown upon them, because they usually come through for people when their moment of need. But some Shylocks use very punitive. Not very punitive. They use tricks. Yeah, to make you sign contracts that's like it's like you are committing suicide. Yeah, you are committing your own suicide without knowing. Yeah. But some Shylocks are good. They charge very realistic and friendly rates. Yeah. So if you find yourself in such a situation, then you'll have to approach a Shylock. And when you approach the Shylock to borrow the money, most Shylocks have categories of money they lend and the collateral that they require from you. So they'll give you this amount, and they'll require you to give them your logbook or your TV or your fridge, to hold as collateral, and they'll give you this amount of money. But before you borrow this amount of money, make them explain to you within which period they intend for you to repay the money, the interest rate, if it's running daily, weekly, monthly, because as I have already said, that Shylocks operate unregulated. Yes, they are unregulated, so and they can.
That means they
set up their own interest rates, because as long as they're not registered under the Microfinance Act, they can set up their own operation rules. Yeah, which is a very grey area in Kenya, and it's very sad. Shylocks need to be registered, because a lot of Kenyans end up losing their properties, losing their cars, losing their land, and some people even commit suicide, you know, because you borrow 20,000, you sign a contract, somebody takes you to court on while relying on the contract that they signed, and they get a judgment. You know, there's the small courts, the small claims courts. You get a judgment within 3 months, yeah, you know, and somebody comes to auction everything in your house, which is very sad. So yeah, I think the government, our parliament, needs to come up with a
very legal aspect of it,
with an act that regulates Shylocks.
To take time.
Yeah. So
basically, how should someone who wants to take money from Shylocks be able to practice and be responsible?
Now that we've already explained that this is an unregulated business in Kenya, it will just depend on your connections, because you know most of them are unregistered. So you just ask around. Most of them are just found in these, mostly in the urban areas. You can just ask around for Shylock, and maybe you ask around for like 3 different Shylocks, and then you try and compare their interest rates.
Their terms. So basically, for someone who is thinking of dealing with a Shylock now, as you know, you're watching this and you're like looking for a Shylock, what is the most important advice you can be able to give this person?
Before you take, what I would advise is that before you take money from a Shylock, go through the contract, understand the terms, each and every term, understand the period within which you are supposed to repay this loan. You have to understand the interest rates, that you'll be charged. If it's very high, if you think that it's very high, you should try and renegotiate with the lender or with the Shylock before you commit to it. Yeah, because once you sign and take the money, then it means that contract is binding. It's binding to you. Yeah, once you append your signature, then that's it.
It's done. Thank you very much.
So be very careful. And there are some Shylocks who are very ruthless. Like I have a friend who borrowed money from a Sheillah, Semakata Development, and she was completely unable to repay the money, and the Shylock threatened to come and break her leg, you know. So someone is a na mguu yako, you should be very careful.
How was the leg? You are doing the leg get involved.
Yeah, you know, she could not repay the loan, and she didn't have something like anything recoverable. And all the Shylock could do was to break her leg.
What was the collateral?
It was some old TV that could not fetch the amount that had been borrowed. So yeah.
Thank you very much, Winga. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much. God bless you. See you next time.
Yeah, thank you very much for always supporting us. If you have any questions on Shylock business, Shylock loans,
you know where to find us.
Yeah, you know where to find us.
Continue subscribing, continue sharing. Till next time.
God bless.
Bye.